Picture the scene. It's 2025, and in the final season of his legendary career, a 44-year-old Fernando Alonso, in his 22nd season in Formula 1, beats a cost-cap crippled Red Bull to finally win that third world championship that's eluded him for nearly 2 decades. In one of the silly season shocks of recent memory, and just 4 days after Sebastian Vettel's emotional retirement announcement from Formula 1, Aston Martin announced the signing of Fernando Alonso on an initial 2-year deal. Much speculation was made over the deal. Can Fernando still cut it deep into his 40s? Was going from blue to green actually a step in the right direction? And then there's the potential difficulty of his relationship with Lance Stroll. Now, in defense of the Stroll family name here, they have been more than prepared to throw money at this team to try and get them back up the ladder. Aston Martin are in the middle of a huge expansion of their base of operations right by Silverstone. The first of their main buildings is scheduled to be completed around May of this year, with their new wind tunnel tentatively scheduled to come online sometime in 2024. They've also gone out of their way to bring in big-name staff, including former Red Bull Aerodynamics chief Dan Fallows as their new technical director. This caused some controversy when the team unveiled a radically different-looking Aston Martin for last year's Spanish Grand Prix, nicknamed the Green Bull. Red Bull absolutely took this on the chin by suddenly drinking green cans of Red Bull during free practice in an act of sheer pettiness. But there's no getting around it here. There's a Canadian flag-draped elephant in the room. There's an argument that Lance Stroll could be seen as a hindrance to Aston Martin's overall success. His seat is virtually unmovable as long as his dad Lawrence owns the team. Now, that wouldn't be so much of a problem if it wasn't for the fact that his results in F1 have been pretty average to date. He was outscored 37-18 in Vettel's final season, and also caused that 180-mile-an-hour wreck with his new teammate at the Circuit of the Americas. Surprisingly, Alonso defended his future teammate and called it a racing incident. Wonder if that was an attempt to smooth things over with his future boss. And while Alonso definitely impressed in his final season with Alpine, will Aston Martin actually build the team around him? Not sure on that one. And even if Aston do let this happen, if the team does rise through the ranks, can Lance be a good enough second driver to give the team a greater chance of success? If Aston do climb out of the midfield, the potential lack of overall driver quality leaves a greater chance of them being exposed at the highest level. On the other side of the coin though, Fernando's not exactly got the most glistening reputation of being easy to work with. As much as his relationship with Esteban Ocon was initially praised when first put together, by the end of it cracks had started to show. 2 clashes in Brazil and some spicy comments from Esteban on the way out when he said, quote, "It's good that he's going to Aston Martin and that we're going our separate ways. Honestly, the work was 98% on my back and 2% on his. I was overworked, I was doing all the development in the simulator and the marketing trips. That doesn't sound like the sort of driver you want to spend the Christmas work party with." It's also hard to ignore Fernando's age here. He's 41 already. Drivers going this deep into their 40s is rare in the modern era of F1, and Father Time remains undefeated. With the timeline projecting at least 2 years before Aston begin to get a return on Daddy Stroll's investment, will Alonso even be around to fully benefit? I think there's a lot of ways this could go wrong, and not many ways it goes right. But what do you think? Let us know in the comments down below, and be sure to subscribe.